Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is a lot like its predecessor. In this role-playing beat-em-up, you select a team of 4 Marvel stars from the available roster and show the baddies who's boss. And you don't need to know who Penance and Songbird are to have a lot of fun with it. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 makes some improvements to the formula. It delivers a better story and a more streamlined interface, but some of the changes strip a little too much away, and the entire game is rough around the edges, so expect to run into bugs and glitchy behavior. Yet while the sequel doesn't really feel all that refined, it's still really enjoyable.
What's wrong, Cable?
Look, get us out of here, it's a trap!
Of course it's a trap. How else were we gonna get you all in one place?
The story is based on 2 different Marvel stories, Secret War and Civil War. If you're into comics, you'll notice that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 takes plenty of story liberties, but no matter, the tale is really good, and it's based around the US government's attempt to force superheroes to register legally. The Registration Act splits heroes into 2 camps, so a bit into the game, you'll be making an important choice. This means there are 2 ways to experience the story, and it's a big reason to play again once you finish the first time.
Cap, please. You know how hard I tried to fight this. But that was before Stamford. The public doesn't want secret identities anymore. Registration is the only way to make them feel safe when we're around.
Like in the first game, you control a single character on your 4-hero team. The others are controlled either by the AI or up to 3 other players locally or online. But alone or with others, the action is a breeze to pick up. Heroes have 2 different melee attacks, can jump or even fly, can pick up and throw stuff, and have 4 different powers to unleash. If you get tired of one hero, just switch to another in your team, or switch out with another hero on your roster on the fly. Even with all these characters, the action can get a little repetitive. There's one new type of attack, however, that never gets old, the fusion attack. 2 characters can combine powers into one spectacular-looking combo. It's easily the best part of the game because the attacks look so powerful and do so much damage. The fusions aren't all unique to the specific pair of heroes you choose. You'll see the same basic fusion attacks amongst various pairings, which is a little disappointing. Still, the fusions are fun to watch and satisfying to perform. When you aren't beating up bad guys and hammering on the frequent boss characters, you'll be leveling up and earning equipable upgrade medals that affect the entire team. You can equip up to 3 of these medals at a time. If you're not into the RPG aspects of the game, no worry. You can just set the game to auto-spend experience orbs and skill pips for you. If you like loot sorting and customization in these types of games, be aware that these elements have been stripped down. You won't find and equip armor and other goodies like you did in the first game, and you might struggle with a bug that keeps resetting your auto-leveling option to on no matter how often you turn it off. You'll also spend some time in dialogue with various characters. These options are streamlined as well, so there aren't as many conversation trees to explore as in the first game. However, when faced with dialogue options, you'll choose one of 3 basic response types: aggressive, passive, or diplomatic. Consistent responses lead to bonuses, so your choices aren't just for show. The lines do seem slapped together though and don't always reflect the category they're in. Your defensive and diplomatic options may seem just as rude or hot-headed as the aggressive one. You're often stuck selecting from 3 equally snarky choices that may not even suit the character you're controlling.
Spider sense says I'm gonna die.
One thing's for certain, while Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 isn't exactly beautiful, it looks better than the original. The backgrounds and animations look better, and there's greater environmental variety. The engine has a hard time keeping up sometimes though. The frame rate drops here and there, and technical weirdnesses abound. So one moment you'll be admiring the great visual effects, and the next you'll be dealing with camera weirdness and stuck characters. The sound effects and soundtrack are terrific, though the voice acting is up and down. Some heroes and villains sound good, while others sound a little embarrassing.
I can rehearse for that commercial later.
What are we going to do?
My, what big teeth I have!
Even though Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is rough around the edges, it's still a lot of fun to beat up on thugs and robots with superpowered champions. It's also a good way of getting acquainted with lesser-known characters like Penance and Songbird. This sequel is streamlined a bit too much for its own good, but it's still enjoyable enough to please both comic fans and folks that like some good old-fashioned button mashing.